Welcome, everybody. Weekend report from March 10th, 2023. And this week it was definitely all about the jobs report. We got the ADP report earlier this week, and then today was the BLS report. And all eyes are on this number, these numbers that were reported. So we'll start with the ADP report, and it showed that the expectation was 205,000 job creations, and it actually came in at 242,000. And you would think, hey, this is great. But a couple of cracks showing up now in these employment job numbers. So starting with ADP there, there was decrease in wage appreciation per that report. And then also we saw that the greatest gains still are coming from leisure and hospitality. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we are starting to see that we're reaching normal levels for the number of individuals that are in hospitality. So let's take a look at some slides here for you. Let's see if I can figure out how to change my screen. Here we go. So this is the jobs report from 2013. Well, actually, leisure and hospitality numbers from 2013 to 2023. That red line shows that, we peaked in January 2020. Everything fell off because of COVID. And then we have started to earn those jobs back. And with this being the largest sector of job creations, now that we're getting back to normal levels, that does beg the question, are we going to continue to see as many job creations as we have been seeing? This begs to suggest that we might be seeing some slowing down in the job creations market. So now let's talk about the BLS jobs report. On this particular report, we are seeing that there were 311,000 job creations. But what's of interest in here is that the total labor force is up 419,000. So that suggests there are more people getting back into the labor force. And this might be in part due to the fact that COVID relief program ended last week. We talked about that in last week's report. So are people more strapped on their funds just because they don't have that extra cash coming in? And with the feds continuing to hike interest rates so aggressively, it's become quite expensive, to pay the bills. In this BLS report, we are seeing that unemployment is up to 3.6%. That's a 0.2% increase month over month. And again, this speaks to the fact more people are getting back into the workforce. So unemployment's going up, and this is usually a big indicator of a recession. And again, I still think it could be a mild recession, but nonetheless, a recession nonetheless could be coming. So we are starting to see unemployment go up. And if the leisure and hospitality continues to slow down, which was always the biggest gains for the jobs report, this does suggest unemployment will go up. And if you look at the one specific number at the bottom of the chart, there's a big jump in the unemployment for people that have been unemployed for less than 5 weeks. So these are new people into the market. So very interesting to look at that. And I will tell you, there is a lot of pain in the Fed market right now with the Fed's increasing the interest rates like they have. It has been super aggressive, and it's translating not only to individual consumers, but also to banks. Because when people deposit their monies with banks, they expect to get paid interest. Well, as these interest rate hikes continue to go up, if banks are trying to lend out the money that people have deposited with them, it's harder for them to capitalize on the spread between what they're paying out in interest and what they have to pay at the higher interest rates to get money lent or even borrow money. And it does impact what their asset valuation is. So there is some talk now and concerns with banks being in a kind of a difficult area as well right now because of these Fed hikes. So all of this that has been transpired really kind of speaks to the fact that we really do not feel like the Feds will, introduce another Fed hike on March 20th. Another rate hike that would, I think, be detrimental. I think they've just been too aggressive at this point, and it is definitely causing pain for not only consumers but banks as well. Last thing to note was that Japan, there was a changing of the guard today. And that the party member did not increase their rate hikes at all or make any change to the monetary policy. So that was good for the Japanese market, which it translates to good for U.S. markets. And let's just take a look at that. Let's take a look at the whoops, take a look at the markets as they are. Now, we are down a little more today. We started at 75 basis points. The jobs report was really, really good. It was really strong, but we are seeing some backing off now. So this does translate to the fact that while we saw some initial gains with the interest rates, we might lose a little bit of that today. We'll see. I don't really know how this day is going to transpire. But at least we did make up some of what we had lost over the last several weeks. That has been pretty painful. If you have any questions, the biggest news, I should say, the biggest thing coming up next week is the CPI report. We do expect appreciation to be good. This usually is a big market mover. I will say that the last report was not as much of a mover as we expected, but we feel like this one could be better. So keep an eye on where the rates might be for March 14th, March 15th type. Those 2 days are going to be real important. If you have any questions, please do reach out to me. I do appreciate all your likes and comments. Do please share my videos. And I hope you have a great weekend. I will see you next week. Mm-hmm.